Hello and welcome back to Shining Force 2. I have actually gone and done some grinding between this episode and the last episode, so everyone is like hovering around level 20, except poor Kiwi, who I really tried to level up, but he's still like 3 levels behind the rest of the party. He's better though. He's not very good is the thing. Also, if you hear some weird like clanking and hissing in the background of this episode, that's because this happened in the first, in Shining Force 1 also, but I have radiator heat where I live, and it's a little chilly today, so my radiator is going at it. It's full blast. So anyway, last time we met this guy called Road, who knows about how to activate the ancient caravan, which should be quite useful, and he wants us to take him to the desert shrine. Not sure where on this map it is, it could be off the left of the screen. So we can fight a monster known as the Taros, which could only be defeated with the ancient Achilles Sword, which we now have. But first we gotta get through this desert. So, yeah, we got some new enemies. We have these guys, the Soul Sower. They're basically they're tanky. I think they can do status effects too. I think they like paralyze or something. Someone got hit by a static effect while I was grinding. Also, real talk, grinding on this desert map was awful. It took so long, especially leveling up Kiwi. But yeah, this is pretty short. So yeah, I'll give a peek at the member list also, just so you can see. Pretty much everyone's Lee is lagging at 17, May's at 19, but they're both almost ready to level up anyway. I just kind of wrapped up there because I felt like we had grinded enough, really. I will say that right now, characters who hit 20 stopped really gaining that much X. I think it's like we've caught up in leveled for this specific battle. Also just showing off his attack here. Keep in mind he has the power ring, so his attack is boosted, and it still sucks compared to everyone else. His problem is that his selling point is his defense. He has the most defense. He's got 37. The only competitor is Jaha at 33, which is still quite good, and he has actual attack, but, you know. Kiwi is certainly by far the best at it, but he still only has 9 HP. At all the levels he's only gained 2 HP. So honestly, he died a bunch of times while I was grinding, because there is a mage on this map, and he usually got one shot by Blaze too. Once he got the extra HP to go to 9 HP, sometimes he survives with 1. But yeah, magic just destroys him. So if he had a decent amount of HP, it wouldn't even have to be tons, just enough so that he doesn't insta-die to every spell. Then he'd actually, he's not strong, but he'd be a good tank. But yeah, that holds him back a lot. Also, Slade became really strong. I still have the Chirrup sandals on him. I don't remember what they do though. I just kind of equipped them because I was like, why not? We got them, I might as well use them. But I'll have to look up what the item does because the game doesn't tell you. So it's like, a mystery. And Peter is now fully caught up and the same as everyone else. He's quite useful too. I'm wondering whether I'll just be having her heal every turn. She's got plenty of MP now just to keep the X coming. You can also see the new weapons here. The power staves look particularly silly because there's no bottom to it. Like, it's not a staff like a quarterstaff. So it looks like it's just a baton. It's like a nightstick that they're gonna whack people with. It looks very silly, especially since the way they're holding it. Because obviously, it's always the same base sprite, right? And the weapon is just sort of added to it. And they're holding it as if it was a full-size quarterstaff, and it's not. So it looks hilarious to me. Okay. This was also such a tough map to grind on, because, like, the 2 Cavaliers had fallen a bit behind, and it's a desert map, so they're so slow, and Kiwi also. So this was an exercise in frustration. But I also felt Kiwi was far enough behind that it was kind of like, I'm gonna have to do it eventually and knows if the next map is gonna be better. And although it's frustrating on the desert maps, this is also a map where you can see that there's a little group of initial enemies and the other enemies are further away, so you're not immediately swarmed by all of them, and being able to sort of focus fire on just this one group is really good for grinding. So it is the structure that I prefer for it. So I was like, well, it'll be slow, but I can do it. I just watched some YouTube videos in the background and leveled characters. But yeah, I'm wondering whether Peter, his attack or not. I mean, I feel like probably not because magic in this game is all fixed damage, but the reason I wondered was because he seemed to do a lot more to the goal than everyone else. just my vague impression. He's got good attack, but he's not like the most in the party. And he just seemed to do a lot to the golem, so I was like, maybe his attack ignores defense somehow? But I don't think so. It just seemed like maybe because he was a phoenix, he's like a magical creature, and his attack isn't him like slashing with talons, so I kind of wondered. It would be very different than all the other mechanics in this game though, so I don't know. I haven't used Blast 2 yet. Let's well, it's the 2-range one, but maybe it'll do more damage also. Whoa, a critical hit, but it still only did 9 damage. It's not very... Well, she is the healer, so it's not like... She's not meant to be just destroying enemies with magic. It's just kind of a... I see her spell more of like... More, you know... In a pinch, she can take out a weakened enemy, which is nice. It's more useful than anything else Kazan has, I have to say. He has Blaze, which is good. But his other 4 spells are Muddle, Dispel, and Diesel, none of which is good. So it's like, buddy, it's a good thing you get Blaze 4, because you sure can't do anything else. Blaze 4 would be really good though, so no regrets. Well, hopefully we'll be able to have people's turns before that mage, because otherwise Kiwi will just die again. But this is the thing with mages in the desert maps, is like, it's hard not to end up clustered into little groups that are correct for magic to hit them. You know, we gotta keep progressing through the map, but you know, we can't go that far, and if you try to hold back to not group up, you just never get anywhere. It's kind of funny that this monster's attacking Jaha and not Sarah, who has lower defense. Slade has been really useful in these desert missions because he has good movement even on sand, so he's not as, you know, just deterred by it as the others. And he does a lot of damage, so he's really been great for just weakening all these enemies so that our weaker characters could actually get KOs. Bust out Blaze 2. The power staff just looks really silly to me. Or, you know, it looks a little like a nightstick, but it also looks like he just broke off like the top of a bed. Like it's just like a bedpost or a banister or something. It does not look like a magical staff. It just doesn't. It looks very mundane and weird. This battle may be a little slow, because it's in the desert, you know, so this is going to be a lot of sitting around waiting for enemies to come to us. My Radiator is also freaking out right now, so I've turned the microphone to point away from it. My microphone is, it's not a microphone, it's not like one of the fancy ones where you can set the direction, but it does have directionality, like the front is the part of the, you know, sensor, so hopefully that will reduce background noise. I'm sure there's a microphone setting to just like make it pick up voices and not random background noise, but I haven't messed around with the settings that so far. It's when I bought it, winter was almost over, so I figured, you know, it won't be an issue. It was just unexpectedly chilly today. Saturday it's going to be 70 degrees out. The weather has been very unpredictable. You know, we're having swings of like just 10 plus degrees sometimes. Very bizarre. Okay, we're gradually getting through all of these enemies. Alright, Luke was the one who got injured. Good. Okay. Taking out this gargoyle. But yeah, you know, you're seeing the amount of damage I'm doing here where we're killing most of these enemies in like 2 hits, okay, 3 hits. But when I first was starting the grinding on this map, it was super tedious because it was taking like 5 hits for certain of these ones. It was so bad. And you know, you're waiting for the turn to come up for the one you're trying to train, so it was just terrible. But the desert, and the fact that there's the lake in the middle and you're kind of the little oasis and you're on one side of it, it does help just slow down the rush of enemies so you're only facing a few at a time. So it wasn't so bad as grinding spots go. Slow but effective. Honestly, the main difficulty was just that, you know, Kiwi was so hard to level because he doesn't do very much damage. He's very weak. And then he also could get killed by the mage really easily and get his turn that often because his agility is really low too. So it was just like the enemy had to be just at the perfect point for him to actually be able to kill it. Like it had to be whittled down to like 5 HP. Garbage, because believe more than that. I think just like in there's some enemies that just take reduced damage from magic. Because you notice that the evil monks and stuff, that tends to happen too. Look how useful Peter is. When we first got him, he was, you know, just far enough behind the party that it was very hard to train him. He got his turn so rarely, he was weak. But now he has become so strong. I fully understand why people recommended him as a permanent party member. And it's funny, you know, he's got his thing where if he dies, he auto-reses at the end of battle. But he's died so rarely. It hasn't even come up yet because he's so useful. He's shrunk. Okay, this Soul Sower is pretty tough, so we're gonna want to take him out. He does a lot of damage. Okay, we can heal up Kiwi so he doesn't die in one more hit. If only Kiwi had more HP. I realize he's, you know, he's like a mascot character, so maybe... Oh nice, heal level 3, really good. Maybe he's kind of intended to be more of like a joke character and not necessarily that useful, but I wish they had just tried a little harder to make him worth using. Because the thing is, his attack and agility are also low. So he didn't need to have low HP in order to make him balanced. He was already, even if he had a good amount of HP, he'd still be a little weak because his only role would be tanking. And it would be very hard for him to, you know, deal any damage, and maybe I should have killed the black monk first. I was thinking we'd get our turns fast enough to just finish this guy off before that guy got a turn, but perhaps not. But yeah, so even if he had like tons of HP and tons of defense, he still would be limited in his usefulness. He'd be pretty niche, but at least he would have a niche. Whereas with this, he has one good stat and nothing else. And if his one good stat was like attack, then that would still be, you know, you could make something of that because it's like, okay, he doesn't necessarily get his turn often and you have to be careful with, you know, whether he's in the enemy range, but at least he can really hit hard. So he can just like, you know, wail away on a boss or something. But with his only good stat being defense, it's much harder for him to be useful. That thing must also, I don't know if it resists fire or magic in general. But it definitely did not take the normal amount of damage. I'm gonna have Peter come down here and help out. This should finish this guy off. There we go. That's better. And Gerald can handle this guy up here. He does so much damage too. He's really good. I'm hoping to save the gargoyle maybe. Honestly, I wanted to get May another level. Just couldn't get her in range easily. She doesn't move very fast in the desert, so it's the sand. You know, I'm not worried about her falling behind her. She's like behind by 1 level, and as soon as we're on an indoor map again, she'll be fine. It's just that this map is not ideal for her. Sure. Have Sarah just keep healing. We're halfway to the level cap before promotion, so a little bit of progress. This does suggest to me that we still have quite a lot of game left to go. We're still early game here. I'm hoping maybe Kiwi can get his turn and maybe get another kill. I don't understand why that mage attacked instead of using spells. Of course he's gonna. I was really hoping Kiwi would get his turn first. That's annoying. But, you know, it can't be helped. Well, maybe at this rate May will eventually get to attack something. If not, though, you know, there's always the next map. Whereas Kiwi is going to continue to be difficult to train for as long as he's in the party. Oh, but at least he got a level here. That's good, that's good. He got more defense, of course. And maybe May can finish off the monk. That'd be pretty good. They can both get a level. Peter, you come help out. Peter is so good. See, again, I want to save that Master Monk, so I don't want to finish him off just yet. I'm hoping May can get her turn and finish him off. That's nice. We all got a bunch more levels in this battle. Ooh, oh, well, Ben's injured, so Sarah can heal him up. I think you get the same experience points for all of the different heal, like, levels of heal, so there's no point in us using the higher level ones unless we have to. They don't give more X, which is really disappointing. They cost more, so you think they would give more also. Excellent. So with this, she should get to level 20, and then everyone but Kiwi will be level 20, and he's level 18. That's not bad. It was just so hard to train him. I really... And I also felt that if I kept going, the rest of the party could get, like, too over-leveled to the point that it would be silly. Which I don't want to do. I know, me saying I don't want everyone to be grossly over-leveled, shocking, but... oh, oops. I actually meant to have him attack, but then I wasn't paying enough attention and moved him one space too far, and then just clicked the button. The cursor defaults to wait, so if you're just mashing it, then that can happen. Alright, this is our last enemy, so we're almost done with this battle. And it's been not quite 20 minutes, so I should be able to fit in whatever cutscene is after this. I don't actually know. I haven't looked past the current battle in my guide. I usually, like, only check it when it's like, oh, we're at the next area, so let me check what hidden items are here, you know, to try to stay a little more spoiler-free. I wonder, now who will get the kill? Depends on whose turn is next. Yeah, see, it can stun. That's what happened last time. I think it basically just, they skip one turn, you know? It's like an interrupt, I guess. Nice. Oh, get a lot of gold from all the grinding too, so we're rich as hell now. Nobody died in that, right? Quick check. Yeah, we're good to go. Alright, now, I guess we just, yeah, oh, here it is, yeah. Road to this shrine. Mecha, like a golem that was created to guard this place, presumed by the ancients. Anyway, stop. Who? Big guy. That's Taros, the guardian of this ancient shrine. What the heck is that thing behind him? Oh, that must be the caravan. You know what it kind of looks like? It looks like the Horda from original series Star Trek, from the episode Dubbed Arc. It really looks like the Horda. Anyway, that Taros looks... I also like his little waiting animation there where he's just like tapping. It looks like he's about to. It's pretty good. Again, stop you. What should the caravan? It'll be so useful for our party that we really must have it, but I don't know what the deal with Road is. He just wants it for no reason. He loves ancient things. Time's up. Now we battle. So we're gonna murder this guy just because we want to steal his stuff. There's no other reason. Oh, and it's a whole battle? Okay, so it looks like this is a fairly large indoor map. Let's take a look around. We got more of these guys. Soul Sowers. Looks like similar to the enemies we fought in the last battle. Honestly, I'm kind of glad I grinded on the previous map, because this one looks like it would have been a little more annoying to grind on, because more of the enemies are far away. So there would have been a lot more like walking to places and waiting. And here's the Taros. This is a unique monster with a gigantic sprite. He's got loads of attack and quite good defense. 0 movement though, so I guess the idea is that it's like he stays in place so that we can't go past him to grab the caravan. Well, if he has 0 movement, I'm guessing that the Taros sword, either he has a ranged attack, which would make sense because it's so huge that he can attack someone who's not immediately adjacent to him, like his reach is really long, or maybe the Taros sword can be used as an item to cast a spell or something, because otherwise we could just stand like 1 space away and whittle him down, right? So I'm assuming that he has ranged attacks. I wonder if we can get the Taros sword. That would be cool. We were also told that only the Achilles Sword, which we have here, can defeat the Taros, so presumably Ben is gonna have to get in there and get that kill. Also, I haven't checked Ben's status screen like this in ages, so I didn't realize that the 2 jewels at the bottom are like on it as well, the pictures, like he's still got these. Which way should we go? Basically I'm asking myself, oh, you can't go to the center, it's blocked, yeah. Let's just go to the left, I guess. Why not? To the left, to the left. Everything you own, box to the left. Again, this map looks like there's going to be a lot of objects that it seems like you should be... Oh, you can walk behind the pillars. Interesting. So in that other map, it was not a graphical imitation. It was just a questionable map design choice where there was a choke point that wasn't really immediately obvious because you couldn't see where it was blocked. Man, these soul sowers are pretty tough. Like, we're a bit over leveled and they're still doing a lot of damage. That's just another chance for Sarah to get exp. Once again, that battle background looks super nice. I also, oh right, oh, you know, it's funny. I thought that stun was like an in-battle status, because last time while I was grinding when it happened, it only lasted 1 turn. But I guess it's a status that just has like a % chance to wear off. I would have gone back to the cleric if I had realized. I had sort of guessed what it did based on the previous battle where it appeared. And apparently it's more like poison and it persists. It can wear off spontaneously though, so hopefully that will happen. It's like whatever, it looks like this battle will have a bit of a slow opening as we're kind of gradually going through this early part, so we can wait for him to recover. There we go. I just don't know why he's called the Soul Sower. You know, it's like, it's spelled like sower, sowing seeds or something, so like, does he steal people's souls and then like plant them and turn them into something? It looks more like just a big lizard fish thing, so I have no idea what's going on with the name. Very bizarre. Okay, we're kind of gradually... This battle is honestly... I thought there was going to be a cutscene here. I didn't realize there was going to be a whole other fairly large battle. So we may have to cut this episode midway through the battle. Either that or it'll run over. I'll see how close I am to the end of the battle. But there's obviously going to be a cutscene after the battle where we acquire the caravan, so... If we have to cut in the middle of the fight, it's not so bad, because then the next episode can be like finishing the battle and getting the caravan, you know. Just see how it goes. I do think it's going to be harder and harder to keep these to 30 minutes as the game progresses, because the battles, like the maps will probably get longer, so the battles will take longer also. And I don't know if I do like to keep each battle as its own episode. Not for the sake of playing it, because obviously I'm just, you know, making a save state and then immediately starting the next video. So for me, there's no gap. But in terms of watching it, you know, I think it flows better if, like, the battle is a single chunk of content. So it's like, okay, we finished this chunk of the game. Now we're going on. But in the previous game, it was also a little more clear-cut because, you know, it really was battle cutscene, battle town, really battle town. Whereas here, you know, there's wandering around exploring on the map and stuff also. So, I don't know. There's a lot more, honestly, the walking around the map also, because it takes up time, it also does make the episodes longer. Especially because I get lost so frequently. Okay. Good job, Chester. We're still making progress on our leveling here. Luke is still stunned. Yay, he's back. Luke got unstunned. Luckily he has high movement rate, so he'll catch up quickly. He can just run over. I like the battle background here. It's similar that we saw in that cave where we were trying to get to Grant's Island, but Petro locked the door. Except that one had, like, behind the pillars, the background was like the stalactites from the ceiling of the cave. It's the sky, since we're outdoors now. And it looks quite stylish in my opinion with the clouds and blue sky in the background. Still like the music a lot, although again, I still think that it doesn't really work as battle music because it's so low-key. It's kind of like calming and mysterious. It doesn't really get you like hyped for the fight. Alright, we're making our way towards the Taros little by little. Luke is going to join us. Seriously, this music is so chill that I'm like, I'm too relaxed, I don't have a lot to say. Also, we are at the point of the battle where we're just walking from point to point, which I've said this about other maps, but this is, I think, a flaw in a lot of the Shining Force maps from 1 and 2. Because this happened a lot in the first game as well, where there'll be a bunch of enemies at the start, and then you just walk for like a bunch of turns, and then there's something else to do, so the pacing is awkward. Especially since like sometimes it takes you quite a while to walk all the way to the end of the map. So this map definitely has that problem, but I have to say, in part because, like seriously, the music is so, like, kind of relaxing that I'm kind of just not even bothered by it. I'm like, yeah, we're just walking along, taking a stroll over these enemies. Wow, Peter has become so powerful. He's awesome. I'm really glad that I trained him up and grinded him a little so he catch up with the party. He's good. But yeah, this is, so we're like very close to half an hour here. I don't actually know how long it's going to take to kill the Taros, and there's quite a lot more enemies, so I think I'll kind of get everyone clumped up here in roughly the same area, and then we can break and have the next video. Because there's going to be the cutscene too, so I'm going to have to break in here somewhere regardless. Obviously we're not going back to the safe point prior to the cutscene or anything. Unless Ben dies, I guess, then we'll have to restart the battle, but, you know, in that case I would make a new video anyway. Sure is a leisurely battle. Peter can just continue shredding all the enemies. Oh nice, he got even more powerful. He's gotten more than 1 point in attack, like, every level. He's really good. Geralt is also quite good, gotta say. A lot of our characters who don't use weapons, except for poor Kiwi, seem to be quite good. Well, I guess let's have her, you know, we'll make it like close to. Anybody actually injured? Doop-de-doo. Well, I guess Geralt can just, have a small heal. Oh, very nice. Good job, Sarah. Okay, and then Ben's turn is a nice place to break, and we are gonna make, you can see this time I remembered to delete all the extra save slots ahead of time. Although actually, now that I think of it, you know, this is exactly why I usually do these at the start of videos, because now if I had to re-record this, I don't have a save slot from when we started. Well, I guess I won't save the game. until we go back, until I go and check the videos to make sure they're okay. I'll just leave it on a safe slot. This is why I do it at the start of videos, because then I won't forget. Otherwise I clearly will. Okay, anyway. In this episode, we've crossed the desert and entered the ancient shrine where the Taros guards the caravan. Unfortunately, if we want that caravan, we've got to go through the Taros, a formidable foe who appears to be some sort of ancient mecha. So we're partway through this battle, and next time we will finish the battle and grab that caravan, which will be quite useful to us. So look forward to that. Until next time, this has been Shining Force 2.